The Senate will come to order. The following bills and resolutions on first reading in reference to committee. The Secretary will read the bills and resolutions.
Of certain water infrastructure matters under the jurisdiction of the Texas Water Development Board to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 30 by Schwertner relating to recovery of damages and civil actions to business and commerce. Senate Bill 31 by Hughes relating to exceptions to otherwise prohibited abortions based on a physician's reasonable medical judgment to state affairs. Senate Bill 32 by Betancourt and Parker relating to the exemption from ad valorem taxation of a portion of the appraised value of tangible personal property that is held or used for the production of income and franchise tax credit to local government. Senate Bill 33 by Campbell et al. Relating to certain prohibited transactions and logistical support between a governmental entity and an abortion assistance entity to state affairs. Senate Bill 34 by Sparks relating to the preparation, prevention, and mitigation of wildfires to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 36 by Parker relating to the homeland security activities of certain entities to border security. Senate Bill 37 by Creighton relating to the governance of public institutions of higher education to education K through 16. Senate Bill 38 by Betancourt et al. Relating to the eviction from real property of certain persons not entitled to enter, occupy, or remain in possession of the premises to state affairs. Senate Bill 39 by Birdwell relating to civil liability of a commercial motor vehicle owner or operator to transportation. Senate Bill 1851 by Nichols relating to the penalty for noncompliance with certain audit requirements by a municipality to local government. Senate Bill 1852 by West relating to the accreditation of automotive technology courses to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1853 by West relating to an action to determine the status of certain documents or instruments purporting to convey title to or an interest in real property to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1854 by West relating to the use of municipal hotel occupancy tax revenue to economic development. Senate Bill 1855 by Perry relating to requirements that certain plats for the subdivision of land include evidence of groundwater supply to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1856 by Creighton relating to a capacity cost recovery rider for certain electric utilities to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1857 by Hagenbu relating to the authority of certain municipalities to use certain tax revenues for certain qualified projects to economic development. Senate Bill 1858 by Hagenbu relating to eligibility for the Bulletproof Vest and Body Armor Grant Program to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1860 by Hughes relating to the applicability of laws protecting minors from harmful material and digital services to state affairs. Senate Bill 1861 by Hughes relating to the appointment of a special prosecutor by the Court of Criminal Appeals for certain criminal cases to state affairs. Senate Bill 1862 by Hughes relating to interstate notification by the voter registrar of certain applicants for voter registration to state affairs. Senate Bill 1863 by Hughes relating to the conduct of randomized county election audits to state affairs. Senate Bill 1864 by Johnson relating to egg grading and the selling of ungraded eggs to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1865 by Eckhart relating to the regulation and operation of electric bicycles to transportation. Senate Bill 1866 by Perry relating to the Texas Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1867 by Perry relating to the addition of certain substances to Penalty Group 2 of the Texas Controlled Substances Act to state affairs. Senate Bill 1868 by Perry relating to adding certain substances to the Texas Controlled Substances Act to state affairs. Senate Bill 1869 by Perry relating to the procedures for modifying the schedules of controlled substances to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1870 by Perry relating to municipal and county enforcement of drug laws to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1871 by Perry, Creighton, and Sparks relating to discipline management to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1872 by Perry and Sparks relating to the expulsion of a public school student for engaging in conduct that constitute certain offenses to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1873 by Perry and Sparks relating to students enrolled in public schools subject to in-school or out-of-school suspension to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1874 by Perry relating to immunity from certain disciplinary proceedings against a professional employee of a school district to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1875 by Perry relating to the repeal of the requirement that certain entities subject to the franchise tax must file a public information report with the controller to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1876 by Schwertner relating to the authority of the Public Utility Commission of Texas to retain assistance for regional proceedings to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1877 by Schwertner relating to the authority of the Office of Public Utility Counsel to access certain data to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1878 by Schwertner relating to the Polytechnic College at Sam Houston State University to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1879 by Schwertner relating to the transfer of certain state property from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to Walker County to local government. Senate Bill 1880 by Schwertner relating to the creation of an additional judicial district in Williamson County to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1881 by Schwertner relating to the use of political contributions by the Secretary of State to maintain a residence in Travis County to state affairs. Senate Bill 1882 by Bettencourt relating to the imposition by municipality of a moratorium on property development in certain circumstances to local government. Senate Bill 1883 by Bettencourt relating to the approval of land use assumptions to local government. Senate Bill 1884 by Sparks relating to the employment of persons by the State Board of Education to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1885 by Sparks relating to the authority of certain municipalities to use certain tax revenue for a hotel and convention center project to economic development. Senate Bill 1886 by Sparks relating to the execution of a search warrant for taking blood specimen from certain persons to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1887 by Sparks relating to the prohibition of immunization with a product containing mRNA material to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1888 by Sparks relating to constitution of the jury will and juror qualifications in certain counties to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1889 by Schwertner relating to vision screenings for students in public or private school to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1890 by Perry relating to workers' compensation insurance coverage to local government. Senate Bill 1891 by Perry relating to test years used for rate-making purposes by certain water and sewer utilities to water, agriculture, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1882 by Parker relating to providing a cost of living adjustment applicable to certain benefits paid by the Employees Retirement System of Texas to finance. Senate Bill 1893 by Parker relating to the employment of and parental notification regarding classroom teachers in public schools, education K through 16. Senate Bill 1894 by Parker relating to a transparency review and report on attendance credit under the public school finance system to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1895 by Perry relating to the designation of a portion of State Highway Loop 88 in Lubbock County as the first responders memorial loop to transportation. Senate Bill 1896 by Huffman relating to the provision of information regarding an arrested person to a magistrate for purposes of an order of emergency protection to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1897 by Hughes relating to advanced communications infrastructure security to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1898 by Johnson relating to the discharge or use of certain firefighting foams for testing and training to water, agriculture, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1899 by Huffman relating to the minimum standards of care provided to sexual assault survivors to state affairs. Senate Bill 1900 by Huffman relating to the unlawful possession of a firearm by a person not lawfully present in the United States to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1901 by Huffman relating to the administration of the Texas Opioid Abatement Fund Council to finance. Senate Bill 1903 by Campbell relating to the composition of the Board of Directors of the Texas Permanent School Fund Corporation to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1904 by Colcourse relating to procedures for residential eviction suits to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1905 by Zaffarini relating to the cosmetology licensure compact to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1906 by Creighton relating to increasing the interest rate of certain consumer loans to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1907 by Creighton relating to the exemption of certain gas and electricity from sales and use taxes to finance. Senate Bill 1908 by Zaffarini relating to a study by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board on the feasibility of implementing a statewide system for coordinating clinical training placements to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1909 by Creighton relating to a policy prohibiting anti-Semitism at public institutions of higher education to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1910 by Parker relating to requests for law enforcement agency reports from the Attorney General to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1911 by Eckhart relating to a restriction on permits authorizing direct discharges of waste or pollutants into water in certain stream segments to water, agriculture, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1912 by Eckhart relating to contracting with companies that boycott certain energy companies to natural resources. Senate Bill 1913 by Eckhart relating to certain ad valorem tax-related studies conducted by the Comptroller of Public Accounts to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1914 by Eckhart relating to consent by County Commissioners Court for the creation of certain conservation and reclamation districts to water, agriculture, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1915 by Eckhart, Johnson, Menendez relating to energy efficiency goals for electric utilities to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1916 by Eckhart and Menendez relating to the use of a load management program to meet an electric utilities energy efficiency goal to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1917 by Middleton relating to motor vehicle franchise dealers and the reimbursement of motor vehicle franchise dealers by manufacturers to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1918 by West relating to relative and kinship care grant program administered by the Office of Court Administration to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1919 by West relating to the authority of the Texas Department of Transportation to settle certain claims to transportation. Senate Bill 1920 by West relating to the requirement that a person submit an application for an exemption from ad valorem taxation for certain property used for human burial to local government. Senate Bill 1921 by West relating to a common characteristic or use project in a public improvement district in certain municipalities to local government. Senate Bill 1922 by West relating to appointments to the Public and Transportation Advisory Committee to transportation. Senate Bill 1923 by West relating to the modification of court order based on a parental child safety placement agreement to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1924 by Creighton relating to the enforcement of certain criminal offenses on school property to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1925 by Creighton relating to truancy to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1926 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to commercial signs along U.S. Highway 77 to transportation. Senate Bill 1927 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to municipal regulation of the removal of an ash ash juniper tree to local government. Senate Bill 1928 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the prohibited release of personal information collected during the jury selection process to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1929 by Menendez and Betancourt relating to water testing by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality at correctional facilities to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1930 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the use of proceeds from the sale of saltwater fishing stamps to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1931 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the designation of a portion of business U.S. Highway 83 South in Hidalgo County as SP4 Rodolfo Valdez Memorial Highway to Transportation. Senate Bill 1932 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to certain presumptions applicable to claims for benefits or compensation for certain medical conditions brought by certain first responders to local government. Senate Bill 1933 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the appointment and qualifications of the Board of Directors of the Aqua Special Utility District to local government. Senate Bill 1934 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the operation of certain healthcare provider participation programs in this state to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1935 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the composition and operation of a Property Owners Association Board to local government. Senate Bill 1936 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the definition of an abuse unit for certain controlled substances under the Texas Controlled Substances Act to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1937 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the testing of evidence containing biological materials in capital cases to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1938 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the dedication of revenue received from certain oversized or overweight vehicle permits to the State Highway Fund to finance. Senate Bill 1939 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to the Ship Channel Improvement Revolving Fund to transportation. Senate Bill 1940 by Hughes relating to authorizing a beneficiary designation that transfers a manufactured home classified as personal property at the owner's death jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1941 by Parker relating to certain reports required to be filed by digital asset service providers to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1942 by Parker relating to electricity planning for large loads to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1943 by Parker relating to the review and audit of certain state agency operations to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1944 by Eckhart and West relating to the allocation of housing tax credits developments within proximate geographical areas to local government. Senate Bill 1945 by Schwertner relating to the eligibility of certain individuals younger than 65 years of age to purchase Medicare supplement benefit plans to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1946 by Zaffarini relating to the creation of family violence, criminal homicide prevention task force to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1947 by Zaffarini relating to the appointment of an interpreter for a court proceeding to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1948 by Perry relating to the authority of a political subdivision to regulate fire prevention standards for certain agricultural facilities to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1949 by Colcourse relating to refund of sales and use taxes or a credit against the franchise tax for certain small employers to finance. Senate Bill 1950 by Creighton relating to the eligibility of certain individuals for unemployment benefits and the validity of certain claims for unemployment benefits to economic development. Senate Bill 1951 by Paxton relating to the imposition of a penalty for failure to timely file a rendition statement of or property report with the chief appraiser of an appraisal district to local government. Senate Bill 1952 by Paxton and Sparks relating to the administration and operation of the School Health and Related Services Program to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1953 by Campbell relating to the inclusion of a person's biological sex on certain government documents to state affairs. Senate Bill 1954 by Campbell relating to the authority of a county to regulate land use in certain areas to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1955 by Parker relating to the health benefit plan coverage for cancer screening, imaging, and genetic testing to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1956 by King relating to an application for and the issuance of a marriage license to state affairs. Senate Bill 1957 by Hagenbu relating to the eligibility of a person to serve on a civilian oversight board to local government. Senate Bill 1958 by Hagenbu relating to the authority of certain municipalities to use certain tax revenue for certain qualified projects to economic development. Senate Bill 1959 by Hagenbu relating to permit considerations for the North Texas Groundwater Conservation District to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1960 by Schwertner relating to digital replication rights in the voice and visual likeness of individuals to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1961 by Betancourt relating to the reporting of data relating to post-secondary education and workforce trends to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1962 by Betancourt et al. Relating to public school accountability and actions and other proceedings challenging the operations of the public school system to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1963 by Creighton relating to financing mechanism allowing electric utilities to obtain recovery of costs associated with a weather-related event to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1964 by Parker relating to the regulation and use of artificial intelligence systems and the management of data by governmental entities to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1965 by King relating to the addition of territory to certain special districts to local government. Senate Bill 1966 by Blanco relating to the provision of information regarding centers for independent living for certain persons to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1967 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo and Hinojosa of Nueces relating to projects eligible for financial assistance from the Flood Infrastructure Fund to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1968 by Schwertner relating to the licensing and regulation of certain real estate professionals to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1969 by Middleton relating to the waiver of license renewal fees for certain instructors in high-demand fields at public institutions of higher education to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1970 by Middleton relating to the duties of a real estate broker or sales agent who lists real estate for sale to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1971 by Middleton relating to admissibility and disclosure of certain evidence in a suit concerning a child alleged to have been abused to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1972 by Middleton relating to the limitation on rules, bylaws, and policies adopted by a school district's Board of Trustees to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1973 by Colcourse relating to the regulation of human body acquisition services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1974 by Blanco relating to the authority of the Board of Trustees of certain small school districts to decrease the number of trustees on the board to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1975 by Betancourt relating to venue and certain actions involving a contract for an improvement to real property to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1976 by Hughes relating to certain testing requirements at certain wastewater treatment facilities to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1977 by Colcourse relating to the recovery of certain expenses by an electric utility or a water and sewer utility and rate proceeding to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1978 by Hall relating to the interconnection of a facility in the ERCOT power region to a facility outside the power region to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1979 by Hall relating to renewable energy generation facilities to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1980 by Hall relating to increasing the criminal penalty for the offense of assault committed against certain public servants to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1981 by Hall relating to compensation and benefits for certain peace officers to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1982 by Hall relating to the location of polling places during early voting and on election day to state affairs. Senate Bill 1983 by Hall relating to the manufacture, sale, and distribution of products developed using mRNA material to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1984 by Hall relating to certain statutes of limitations for criminal offenses to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1985 by Hall relating to a pharmacist's authority to refuse to dispense a drug to state affairs. Senate Bill 1986 by Hall relating to warning labels for opioid prescription drugs to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1987 by Hall relating to procedures and grounds for termination of the parent-child relationship to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1988 by Hall relating to the abolishment of the state lottery to state affairs. Senate Bill 1989 by Hall relating to the use of proceeds deposited to the horse industry account for law enforcement purposes to state affairs. Senate Bill 1990 by Hall relating to the operation and administration of the state lottery and repeal of the prohibition on imposing taxes on lottery tickets or prizes to state affairs. Senate Bill 1991 by Hall relating to the conduct of the state lottery to state affairs. Senate Bill 1992 by Hall relating to the display of In God We Trust on municipal and county buildings to local government. Senate Bill 1993 by Hall relating to the prohibition on certain roadway projects to transportation. Senate Bill 1994 by Hall relating to the consideration of the provision of law enforcement, fire protection, and emergency services by Commissioners Court to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1995 by Hall relating to the unauthorized entry, occupancy, sale, rental, lease, advertisement for sale, rental, or lease, or conveyance of real property to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1996 by Zaffarini relating to the amount of in controversy in the jurisdiction of the statutory county courts to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1997 by Zaffarini relating to the renewal of a certificate of registration by certain interior designers to business and commerce. Senate Bill 1998 by Huffman relating to a preceptorship program in pediatric subspecialty for medical students in this state to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1999 by Hughes relating to protection for certain individuals' use of terms consistent with biological sex to state affairs. Senate Bill 2000 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the hours of early voting by personal appearance in certain counties to state affairs. Senate Bill 2001 by King relating to the registration of vehicles to transportation. Senate Bill 2002 by Hughes relating to the issuance of gold and silver specie to finance. Senate Bill 2003 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to training requirements for certain governing bodies and administrators of public schools to education K through 16. Senate Bill 2004 by King relating to the eligibility of the IndyCar Grand Prix of Arlington to economic development. Senate Bill 2005 by King relating to rules promulgated by the Texas Supreme Court to state affairs. Senate Bill 2006 by Hagenbu relating to the composition of the Juvenile Board of Grayson County to criminal justice. Senate Bill 2007 by Hagenbu relating to the voluntary disclosure by an applicant for registration of a motor vehicle of the applicant's military status to Veteran Affairs. Senate Bill 2008 by Hagenbu relating to the posting of a school district's expenditures ratio on the district's internet website to education K through 16. Senate Bill 2009 by Campbell and King relating to the composition of council appointed to provide representation and services to indigent individuals to criminal justice. Senate Bill 2010 by Betancourt relating to the authority of a political subdivision to establish and operate a guaranteed income program to local government. Senate Bill 2011 by Johnson relating to the adoption of noise regulations by certain counties to local government. Senate Bill 2012 by Campbell relating to the provision of certain information about physicians and nurses making determinations regarding requests for pre-authorizations of healthcare services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2013 by Campbell relating the dispensing of certain drugs by physicians specializing in ophthalmology to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2014 by Zaffarini relating to policies and procedures regarding certain suits affecting the parent-child relationship to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 2015 by Betancourt relating to the relocation or adjustment of certain facilities for certain municipal projects to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 2016 by Betancourt relating to the administration and operations of the State Auditor's Office to local government. Senate Bill 2017 by Betancourt relating to the creation of criminal offenses for operating a vehicle under certain circumstances causing a tire of the vehicle to spin, lose traction, or leave the surface of a highway to criminal justice. Senate Bill 2018 by Paxton et al. Relating to the Strong Families Credit against certain taxes for entities that contribute to certain organizations to finance. Senate Bill 2019 by Paxton relating to the availability and instruction on the use of automated external defibrillators to education K through 16. Senate Bill 2020 by Campbell relating to the exclusion of real property repair and remodeling services from sales and use taxes to finance. Senate Bill 2021 by Johnson relating to the interconnection and integration of distributed energy resources to business and commerce. Senate Bill 2022 by Blanco relating to the denial of the registration of a motor vehicle based on certain information provided by a county to transportation. Senate Bill 2023 by Blanco relating to the establishment of a grant program to support the disposition of deceased paupers' bodies to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2024 by Perry relating to a prohibition on marketing, advertising, or selling certain e-cigarette products to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2025 by Schwartner relating to risk mitigation planning and associated liability for providers of electric service to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 2026 by Campbell relating to the charging of swipe fees on certain electronic payment transactions to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 2027 by Campbell relating to the liability of a funeral service provider for mental anguish damages to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2028 by Johnson relating to the criminal and licensing consequences of certain offenses relating to the possession of marijuana to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2029 by Betancourt relating to authorizing a statewide referendum allowing voters to indicate a preference for observing year-round standard time to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2030 by West relating to prohibited student athlete name, image, and likeness agreements to education K through 16. Senate Bill 2031 by Colcourse relating to the removal of fence surrounding a breeder deer release site to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 2032 by Paxton relating to certain requirements regarding a contract between a single source continuum contractor and the Department of Family and Protective Services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2033 by Paxton relating to a contract requirements for a contract between a single source continuum contractor to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2034 by Paxton relating to the receivership of a single source continuum contractor providing child welfare services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2035 by Hughes, Betancourt, and King relating to contributions, expenditures, and related activities for supporting or opposing a ballot measure to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2036 by Colcourse relating to the authority and responsibilities of the Texas Historical Commission to Economic Development. Senate Bill 2037 by Sparks relating to permit application review and contested case procedures to Natural Resources. Senate Bill 2038 by Hancock relating to the promotion and sale of wine produced in this state to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2039 by Hancock relating to the applicability of certain pedestrian laws to certain sidewalk users to transportation. Senate Bill 2040 by Hancock relating to the establishment of the Texas Adoption Assistance Program to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2041 by Hancock relating to factors of the Department of Family and Protective Services must consider when selecting a foster care placement for a child to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 2042 by Hancock relating to the time frame required for excavation notification to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 2043 by Hughes relating to prohibited retaliation against a physician or healthcare provider for reporting certain violations to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2044 by Betancourt relating to the regulation of certain political communications to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2045 by Betancourt relating to the prohibition of certain actions with respect to campaign contributions to State Affairs. Senate Bill 2046 by Betancourt relating to penalties for certain offenses involving county competitive bidding requirements to local government. Senate Bill 2047 by Betancourt relating to liability of judges and magistrates for the improper release on personal bond of defendants to criminal justice. Senate Bill 2048 by Betancourt relating to the assumption of the powers and duties relating to driver's license to transportation. Senate Bill 2049 2059 by Birdwell and Blanco relating to the establishment of the Quad Agency Child Care Initiative to Health and Human Services, Senate Bill 2050 by Birdwell relating to the recycling and disposal of consumer energy storage modules to natural resources, Senate Bill 2051 by Birdwell relating to the impeachment or removal from office of certain public officers to state affairs, Senate Bill 2052 by Birdwell relating to the determination of the best interest of the child in certain suits affecting the parent-child relationship to jurisprudence, Senate Bill 2053 by Birdwell relating to creating the Governor's Medal of Service Award to recognize service of the people of Texas to administration, Senate Bill 2054 by Colcourse relating to the authorization for and approval of certain nursing programs to Health and Human Services, Senate Bill 2055 by West relating to participation in the Texas Leadership Scholars Program to education K through 16, Senate Bill 2056 by Hancock relating to unlawful practices relating to credit card transactions to business and commerce, Senate Bill 2057 by Parker relating to requiring a person to submit proof of citizenship to register to vote to state affairs, Senate Bill 2058 by Parker relating to certain duties of the Texas Board of Nursing and the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board to Health and Human Services, Senate Bill 2059 by Parker, relating to the recognition of career and technology education programs by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation to education K through 16, Senate Bill 2060 by Parker, relating to funding mechanisms within the Office of the Governor and Texas Public Utility Commission to support the deployment of advanced nuclear reactors in this state to business and commerce. SCR 36 by Creighton, urging all public universities in Texas to respond swiftly and decisively to any attempts to occupy or disrupt campus property to education K through 16. SCR 37 by Creighton, recognizing the strategic importance of the Panama Canal to the economic strength of the United States and the state of Texas to economic development. SCR 38 by Creighton, recognizing the strategic importance of the Gulf of America to the economic and security interest of Texas and the United States to economic development. SCR 39 by Creighton, urging the federal government to take immediate action in addressing issues related to security at the border, to border security. SCR 40 by Creighton, urging Congress to enact a balanced budget requirement to state affairs. SCR 41 by Blanco, urging the United States Department of Commerce to maintain the tomato suspension agreement to water, agriculture, and rural affairs. SCR 42 by Hughes, urging the state to adopt the policy to recognize two sexes, male and female, to state affairs. SGR 4 by Schwartner, proposing a constitutional amendment providing for the maximum amount of money allowable in the Economic Stabilization Fund to finance.
Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the Senate stands adjourned until 11 a.m. Tuesday, March 18th.